The Santa Cruz Catholic Church and its distinctive 90-foot bell tower dominate the intersection of 6th Avenue and 22nd Street in Tucson, Arizona. It's unlike anything else on the visual horizon. In 1916, when construction first began, this was the southern edge of Tucson's city limits. The location was chosen by Bishop Henri Granjon to serve the growing Mexican population on the south side, and because he reportedly liked to hunt rabbits in the area. Over time, the outskirts became the inner city, but the church, seemingly unaffected by time, retains its historic tranquility.
Things are in flux, not in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz, we have many generations, and that really adds to the culture. The connection. You can go anywhere in Tucson, and somebody has a connection to Santa Cruz Church.
The history of this building is deep and rich, as are the stories of the families who make up the congregation. Many have been attending for generations.
The existence of this parish of Santa Cruz as a community, as a cultural reality, religious reality, has been very tolerant. Tolerance to all sorts of people because of the location that we are in. We're at the border basically of South Tucson and Tucson. We've been more connected to South Tucson.
The annual Fiesta de la Familia in May brings the community together around food, music, and some beer. The crowd is largely Hispanic and working class. The men bring their own chairs to sit and people watch. People dance as the sun goes down. It is a universal scene, and at the same time, uniquely Tucson. Adults and children are excited to be seen there.
I've been in a lot of places. I've been in Rome, I've been in Uganda, but I am very happy to be here. When I see that tower, and I'm coming down 22nd Street, it really gives me a great feeling. You have something that links you to your wonderful past, and architecturally, you know.
The architect, Manuel Flores, built the structure that was designed by Bishop Henri Granjon. It was heavily influenced by the churches Granjon saw in southern Spain.
Spain was conquered by the Muslims for 400 years or so. There's some blending between the Arabs and the Spanish culture, where it really brings out the highlight of this architecture. It's in the bell tower.
When World War I ended, the church had not officially opened yet, and the bishop ran up there and rang that tower, you know, to announce to the whole town the end of World War I. And I still think that tower has a purpose for this town.
Under the plaster and the Arabic detailing, the tower is built of brick, but the rest of the structure is primarily adobe. Bishop Granjon reportedly paid Native Americans $10 per load of 2,000 adobe bricks. According to the 1996 application to the National Register of Historic Places, the church is the largest adobe structure built in Arizona and is still in relatively good condition. It even survived a politically motivated bombing in 1924. Striking miners set off dynamite at the front of the church, blowing off the doors and shattering all the glass in the building. No one was hurt, and you get a sense that today's priests might have sided with the miners.
That's what I'm going to say about that.
The church's spiritual lineage dates back to Europe in the 1500s and the Order of Discalced Carmelites.
We keep our vestments here. That's the shield of the order, by the way. This mount stands for Mount Carmel. I feel very connected to the priests that went before me who wore those vestments. We do harm to ourselves when we forget our ancestors. And these are my spiritual ancestors.
A group of discalced Carmelite friars was sent from Spain to Mexico to do missionary work in the late 1800s. In 1910, they fled the Mexican Revolution and settled in many of the small mining towns across southern Arizona.
They were preaching to the people, teaching them their religion, helping them stay faithful to their Catholic faith.
As a gift and standing for the friars, this church was built.
On December 12, members of the Santa Cruz Church meet at a small satellite location to celebrate the Day of the Virgin of Guadalupe.
Just after I was born, we moved to Tucson from Nogales, and we've always been in the Santa Cruz area. And as I got older, my parents moved, but we still kept coming to Santa Cruz. So it's 60 years. I got married there, and my children were baptized there. I went to school there. My children went to school there. And now my grandson goes to school there.
God is everything for me. And I feel like I'm blessing. I'm living near to the church. I can live without God. The church is beautiful and the people too, and it's almost 100 years, and it's so beautiful church.
I got baptized in 9 months here at Santa Cruz Church. I got confirmed, made my Holy First Communion. All my relatives, my mother, my father, my brother, my grandparents, all that have passed away, we have had the funeral masses at Santa Cruz. It just means a lot to me that, I feel their presence sometimes here at Santa Cruz.
¡Que viva la Virgen de Guadalupe! ¡Que viva la Virgen de Guadalupe! ¡Que viva Cristo Rey! ¡Que viva San Juan Diego! ¡Vámonos!
Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor es contigo, bendita eres.
The group will walk 1 mile back to Santa Cruz, singing and praying along the way, on the same route they've been traveling for over 50 years.
Madre mía de Guadalupe, dame ya bendición, recibe estas mañanitas.
While the route has stayed the same, the neighborhood has started to change in recent years.
The people who are settling, and they're coming, from across 22nd, from the cathedral down, it's that gentrification. They're the ones who are taking an interest in starting something in this neighborhood. That's why I'm somewhat torn, because I like vitality, life, people doing things and living. At the same time, I want to protect the families that are here and who have a stake in this place, and not to have a whole cultural shift. And yet, it happens all over the country.
There's a balance between, you could say, the old and the new. Even we see that in scriptures, right? You don't toss away the old. You don't disregard the new, but you make them work together.
We're not going to get fanatical about it, but we've done a pretty good job, and this neighborhood is pretty remarkable in retaining the traditions that go back 3-4 generations. We always think of history in such big terms, but the real history is the way people live every day.
Cada uno de nosotros como cristianos es nuestro deber extender la mano a todos. No importa qué color sean, no importa qué raza sean, tenemos que extender la mano. How many feet have gone through the front door of this church? How many of those people that have gone through have suffered through the depression of the 1920s? How many have lost sons and daughters in their First World War, Second World War, Vietnam, the Gulf War, walking out of this church brand new because they now started a new life married? expected mothers, for the first time, they're waiting for their baby to be baptized. Every single pair of feet that walk through that door and sit in these old pews have a story to say.